Am I the asshole for giving my ex-fiancée a fake engagement ring? It was an honest-to-God marriage proposal. I very much wanted to marry her. She is just a klutz and I didn't trust her with the real thing. I took her to Coachella for the second weekend and to propose. It was a great time and she got to see no doubt who she loves because her dad used to listen with her when she was a baby. Anyway, I asked her to marry me and she said yes. She loved the ring. I had had it sized, but it was the brass and moissanite copy I had made so she would not lose or damage the real one at the concert, which she promptly did, and then she pretended not to. She said it was too tight and that she had put it away until we got back to Phoenix. When we got back, she asked me where I got the ring. I told her and she tried to replace it until they told her how much it cost. She came to my place crying to tell me she lost the ring to beg my forgiveness. I told her right away that it was no big deal because I had the real one with and we could go get it sized perfectly so she wouldn't lose it. My mistake because she effing lost it. She went off on me for making her not enjoy the weekend because she was worried sick that she had lost her ring. If she had told me she lost it, I would have told the truth, that I didn't want to take any chances with her ring at that massive venue. She screamed at me that I was a complete asshole to make her worry like that. She said a lot of stuff that I guess had been building for a while and she said things she could not take back. I told her to get out. She asked for her real ring. I said no, I am not marrying someone who thinks this is the way to behave towards me. I told her she had to or I would get the security guys to get her out. She is only signed in as a guest, so it is not a big deal for me to get her out. I feel like I dodged a bullet, but also kind of bad that I didn't tell her at the concert that it was fake so she wouldn't worry. My parents are wondering why we broke up and I don't know what to say. Update: it was a test and apparently I failed. She didn't lose the ring. She took it to get it appraised and found out it was fake. I guess her plan was to get me to apologize, then rush out and replace it. When I told her I had the real ring safe and ready to go, she freaked out. I have spoken with friends and they all agree that the people saying that I should not have picked a place she loves at an event she loves and that we could return to every year on the anniversary of the proposal are idiots. I showed them the post and they agree that there is a market for a safe room for people who are afraid to propose anywhere meaningful to do so. I'm still happy that I found out how mercurial she could be before we entered into a lifelong commitment. There is nothing else to update. Thanks for the advice and alternative views on my situation.
I, 36M, just found out my partner, 35F, of 6 years has been lying about her career. How do I bring it up? I have been with my partner for 6 years, and for that whole time, she has told me that she is a registered nurse at the local hospital. I never had any reason to question that for the last 6 years. But now I believe she's actually a nanny, not a nurse. How I found out: we let someone borrow her car for a road trip, so we put an AirTag in the car for our peace of mind. The borrower knew. When the car came back, I forgot to take AirTag out of her car. A couple days later, my partner pocket dialed while I was at work, and I could hear kids in the background. So I immediately texted her back to make sure everything was off, that I remembered the AirTag was still in the car. When I checked, her car was not at the hospital, but actually at a doctor's house that she babysits for on the occasional weekend. That night when she got home, she had this crazy story that she took the train from the hospital and ran into that doctor's family on the train. That's why I heard the kids. When I asked her if she parked her car at their house, she said no, I left it at the hospital. I decided that I needed more evidence before I confronted her, so I let that lie go. The next day, sure enough, her car was back at that doctor's house. And for the last few weekdays, that car has been spending all day at their house. I removed the AirTag now because it was too painful to see. My partner's background. My partner immigrated to the country 11 years ago on her own to help family back in her home country. I checked the state registry for nurses and she doesn't show up. I also found some of her tax documents that showed she was a nanny 8 years ago. I couldn't find any recent documentation. My goal: we never have any conflicts and it's been the best relationship I have ever had, and I don't want to lose that. How do I confront her about the lie without it blowing up into a you don't trust me situation? Why does she need to lie about her career in the first place?
My 36F husband, 35M, lied to me about a trip. How can I ever trust him again? We have been together over 5 years and married for 4 months. We also have an infant daughter. His good friend is getting married and he sort of casually mentioned the bachelor party a couple months ago. I assumed it was going to be where they're from and where the wedding is, and when I mentioned it maybe a month after he brought it up, he said no, it's in Miami. He was never super detailed and avoided speaking about it much. I don't really agree with the whole idea of bachelor parties, but he acts like I'm the only one of his friend's spouses who might even think twice. The only thing I mentioned was that it wasn't the best time because I'm back from maternity leave and he is caring for the baby while he is on. He did suggest a backup plan of asking a relative to come by. I work at home, but we also have a young dog that goes crazy when new people are around, and I would spend the whole time listening to him bark or dealing with him. Also, the baby can't go anywhere else because she refuses a bottle. So he never asked but made the plan, and I didn't protest because I'm made to look like the only one who cares about this sort of thing. Also, he told me last minute he was leaving Wednesday and not Thursday, leaving me down another work day. He acted acted like it was a mistake, but I'm not sure. Anyway, the second day he was gone, I had to call him for something related to a contractor. He called me the night before and connection was terrible. While the phone rings and it's not the same ring as usual. So I look it up and that is the ring used. We are in Europe or South America. Also, I investigate to get facts before I ask. I check and his passport is gone. In his email on our laptop, there is a booking confirmation from Miami to Medellin, Colombia made over 2 months ago. So I text and ask if he is in Miami. I should have just waited, but I'm too impatient and I tell him that's the last time we'll lie to me. He gets back to me and tells me he was just told to bring his passport. He didn't plan anything. He already tried to set this lie up before he left by telling he was told there were a lot of surprises, but never said anything about a passport. Well, obviously it is all a lie because it was booked months ago by him. So I press and he still doesn't admit it. But I tell him I know the truth, cuss him out and ignore him. On top of all of that, he stays there still doing whatever he is doing. Oh, when it's Mother's Day weekend and I just get a text that says Happy Mother's Day and there is something in the mail, there's not. I still mostly ignore him. Of course I am furious. Obviously he lied because of what happens down there. He could have been doing the same in Miami though, but felt needed to lie. He kept saying he's just dancing with no one and showing everyone his ring when they try to speak to him. I don't believe it for a minute. There were red flags before and a history of mistrust on his part. Besides having my daughter, my biggest regret is not leaving then. I now feel like I am stuck for my daughter's sake and don't know what to do. He comes home today. I don't want to be here, but I need him to be with the baby so I can work, and I know he won't leave either. So do I just pretend I'm not absolutely disgusted at the sight of him for her sake? TLDR. Husband said he was going to Miami for a bachelor party and I found out he went to Colombia. We have a new baby and I feel stuck. Edit to add paragraphs. Edit. Just to be clear, it was his plane ticket that was booked by him over 2 months ago. It was a best man or groomsmen that planned the entire thing. Still a liar regardless, but I think it came across as if booked the whole thing and not just his plane ticket. My boyfriend 35M forgot his wallet and was proud to make 29F. Hey, was he right for doing that and getting made when I got mad? My BF 35M of 2.5 years took 29F to breakfast on Mother's Day. After we ate fish eating, he realized he forgot his wallet. I wasn't upset and told him it's ok, I got it. He later suggested we go watch a movie, but he passed out in the car, so we went home and I told him to sleep. He worked 13 hours the night before, so I wasn't upset. He was tired. I understand why he's so sleepy. During that time, I cleaned the house and watched some videos on my phone. Later at 7 p.m. I asked if we could go eat at my favorite spot and he said sure. He looked for his wallet, which were in his shorts, and got ready. We ordered the usual, and when it was time to pay, he said he forgot his wallet. I was silent but surprised because I saw him grab his wallet while getting ready, but I paid and we walked back to the car. During our ride home, he was gloating about how it's been a great Mother's Day for him. A free breakfast and a good long nap and a free meal. How his cousins are gonna laugh about it. Tells them he made pay for everything today. I got upset. I felt like a joke to him. The next morning, he asked me what's wrong that I put the money I spent yesterday in my purse. I took the money out and said to him it's not the money that I'm made about. It's how he made fun of me and how instead of him apologizing, he made a joke out of it. He got mad at for being mad at him. Which one of us two is actually wrong here and why? Edit. This was on Mother's Day and we both have 2 children from previous marriages. Update. I broke up with him. So this isn't the first time he does something like this. This past Christmas, he told me what he wanted as a gift, which was around $500 and some other small items, which in total around $600. And I also mentioned to him what I wanted, which was around the same price range. When Christmas came, I received nothing. Literally not a damn thing. I forgave him and we passed it. Then my birthday came and my mom threw a birthday party and he never showed up. I also didn't receive a birthday present. When his birthday came, I got him a cake balance and a small gift. He's never been a thoughtful person or considered my feelings. We go out to eat and always take turns paying for meals. This Mother's Day weekend, paid for all the meals and feed him. When I told him that I was done with him, the first thing he said was, "Is because you had to pay." I mentioned to him again that it's not because of that. It's because he made fun of me paying. He said that he's paid before too and I should stop acting stupid. I told him I don't have a problem paying. I've always helped him out and never asked for the money back. When he got his car, I lent him $3K because he didn't have enough. So far, he's only paid me back $1K. Since we've been together, he's wrecked 2 motorcycles and 2 cars and 2 trucks. When he moved into a new app, I lent him a little over $2K and I haven't once asked him to pay me back. So it's not about the money. I told him that I'm just tired of him always taking advantage of and then joke about it. I blocked him and I know I'll be fine without him.